Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Normal's broke and common sense is weird, so we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author and host of the Front Row Seat on Ramsey Network, is my co-host today. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Shay is in Nashville. Hi, Shay. How are you?
Hey there, I'm so well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm just in an interesting situation right now. I just found out I'm expecting.
Yay! Is that your first?
It's with my husband, of course. What was that?
Is that your first baby?
Yes.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Awesomeness. Cool. Okay. Wonderful news.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not planned, so we don't have our finances fully in order. Mm-hmm. And with me out of work, when the time comes, we will be short of our budget. So if I could just get any advice on anything else we're missing, on what else we could do.
Yeah, it just got real.
Yes, sir.
Why are you out of work?
Well, she's saying when she has the baby, right?
Yes, I'm in work right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood.
It is getting tough already.
Yeah.
With all the nausea.
Yeah, you got a little morning sickness going, huh, kiddo? All right, This is so fun. All right, so I distinctly remember, like it was yesterday, it wasn't, but like it was yesterday, that when I graduated from college and got my first adult job, I felt like an adult. We got married. I felt a little bit more like an adult, but nothing scared the crap out of me like the first baby on the way.
It's the same way for me.
Yeah, okay. And so what little was left of your former high school, college, freewheeling, partying or not, but just not worrying about responsibilities, what little was left of that is now gone, right?
I suppose so.
Yeah, so now it's time to get real serious about your careers and real serious about the grown-up stuff like making some money, having some money for you and this kid, and figuring out how to do this, and that's why you're calling. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. Because you're reacting to a natural anxiety that we all have had, any of us that have had a baby, unless you're psychotic. When you have when the baby actually comes, it's going to be another one, by the way. It's going to another level of seriousness. It's like whoa, I'm now in charge of a life. I have a real burden here. I have a real responsibility here. A weight here. You're going to feel it again, even when Junior enters the world. So this is so awesome. So what this means is probably more than ever before in your life, you're going to get real serious about making some money.
Yep.
That's what all that leads to. So what do you do for a living?
I refurbish furniture and woodworking in Nashville. You
don't make any money, do you?
Oh, I make a lot of money.
Oh, do you really? Okay, good.
I do.
Okay, what's a lot of money? What are you making?
Well, I was cut back because I left work for a time. So I'm currently making $24 an hour at 32 hours a week.
Well, that's not a lot of money.
In my mind, it has been.
Okay, but you're saying you're scraping by, and you're worried that. Okay, and what's your husband make?
He's making $2,200 a month.
Yeah, y'all are starving to death.
What does he do?
He works in a warehouse that supplies apartments with furniture and utilities.
And how old is he?
He's 23.
Okay, all right. And so he just took a job so y'all could have food and lights and water. And that's it. And he's not afraid of work. That's a good man. But now it's time to not do that anymore. It's time to take a career position and start thinking about, what am I going to be doing when I'm 30 that makes $100,000 a year?
Right.
Both of you. And if you're going to be refinishing furniture, it's because you own a refurnishing furniture company. That's the only possible way you're still doing that when you're 30. because you're not going to do artsy-fartsy and make a living working for somebody else. Not going to work.
Yeah, I'm curious. What is his goal? Has he stated a professional idea or 2 or 3 to you?
He's had a few ideas, and he really would like to get into home inspections.
Okay.
He loves home supply.
Is he handy? Is he good fixing stuff or doing stuff? Does he find that he enjoys doing things like that?
He's not so much handy, but he's very intellectual, and he loves logistics.
And he has no formal training, right? You guys just kind of out of high school. What's his background educationally?
Yeah, we're both out of high school, got jobs, and have worked our ways up in the company so far.
Well, when you look long term here, I would run those numbers and look at what a future looks like inspecting homes. That's a little bit of a niche now. I think there are people who do very well at it once they consolidate a lot of realtors and things in an area and they become go-to, and then they can scale themselves. But the reason I asked the question about the hands and is he good at things like that, if he's analytical or logistics, I mean, a career in logistics does have an upward mobility. But I'm telling you, if I'm 23 and I wake up today in your husband's shoes, I'm going to look at trades. I'm going to look at some of that talent that he has, and we're going to give you the book, Find the Work You're Wired to Do. It's got the Get Clear assessment in it. I really want him to take it, like you to take it. We'll give you, Kelly, let's give him a book each. There are 2 codes, 1 book. But here's the deal. He needs to be looking at the trades right now because there's so much upward mobility for him to make much more than he's making right now at $22 an hour. And secondly, maybe
$2,200 a month is worse than $22.
That's right, $2,200 a month. But more importantly, there's a path to ownership in the trades right now. And if he has any kind of talent in that area, I would be looking at that if I were him because of the opportunities.
Okay. Yeah. So there's two parts to the equation. We're going to send you that book, and you guys are going to take the assessment. And I want you to develop a long-term game plan for both of you. What are you going to be doing when this kid is 10? That makes a lot of money for your family. That you enjoy and that you're passionate about. And it's all 3 are congruent. Okay. The second part of the equation, though, is what are you going to be doing in the next 9 months? You guys need to take 6 different jobs, all of you. You need to work like crazy people and pile up as much cash as you can pile up right now. Get ready because you're getting ready to have a hiccup in your income 9 months from now, right?
Right.
And so you got to get ready. And the way you get ready is you build a storm cellar and you fill it with money. And you go work like crazy for a short period of time.
If you have family in the area that can help watch the baby, you could spin off this woodworking that you do and work full-time or close to full-time if you schedule, your work around weekends, odd hours, because it's really project-based. That's how you can make sure we don't miss any money once baby arrives. You got to start thinking like that.
She sounds like she's doing it for someone else by the hour.
I agree, but my point is, can she now do that for herself? That's right, and then set her own hours because these are project-based.
So it's time. It got real. That's the summation of the call. It got real, and the short term, you got to pile up some cash and get ready. Long term, it's now time to do big boy, big girl jobs, careers, not just I take a job that pays me some money so I can make it to the weekend. Statistics show that half of Americans don't have enough life insurance, or they don't have any at all. I don't understand this, John. Why don't people want to take care of their family? They think they're going to die or something?
Well, I used to be one of those guys. I didn't even think about it. And one of my buddies said, hey, the only reason to not have life insurance is if you hate your wife and kids. And I immediately went and got term life insurance.
That's a gut punch.
And you're telling me, and for decades, Dave, I've sat across people who've lost a spouse. They've lost somebody important to them.
Me too.
They don't know what to do next.
Me too. I mean, you're going to have a crisis here. And, you got 2 options while you're sitting and talking to a young widow. She's concerned about how she's going to invest all this money properly and not mess this up, or she's concerned how she's going to eat tomorrow.
That's exactly
These are the 2 options.
And
take care of your dadgum family, man.
Term life insurance can replace income, pay off debts, cover funeral expenses, so your family can actually have the opportunity to just be sad.
Yeah.
To just miss you.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's saying I love you to your family. Term life insurance. Jeff Zander and the team at Zander Insurance makes it easy and affordable. I've used them personally for 25 years. They're the only people I trust. Go to Zander.com or call 800-356-4282. Brandy is with us in Georgia. Hi, Brandy. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Ramsey. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I've been married for 25 years, and I don't work at the time. I'm taking care of my grandson, which my husband totally, is on board with that. But I get no money unless I have to ask for it. And we are debt-free. We owe nothing. And I just feel like anything I say, he doesn't want to take my advice or anything. Like, I feel like we need to sell our house now because it's a bigger house and we don't really need all the room. And we could sell this and we have a really good life. I mean, I feel like. I don't know, I just feel like his daughter instead of his wife.
Oof. How can we help?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what should I, like, we ended up separating like 2 years ago, and I found out it was actually what he was worth, and we was worth. Like, I don't know anything. If he was to pass away tomorrow, I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know what's in his bank account. I have no access to anything. My name's not on his business. My name's not on his debit, card. I can't use his debit card. And we've been married for 25 years. I'm like, and it really aggravated me when we separated because my attorney, gave me all this information on what he's got. And I was just like, I feel like I deserve that, more.
Well, where's the marriage now?
We're together. I take care of my grandson. I can work. Like, if I, and I've even said, do you want me to work? He's like, no, I want you to take care of our grandson. I think it's wonderful that we can do that. But it's like, I don't get paid for taking care of my grandson, so I'm having to always ask him for money.
Does he give you money when you ask? What's that transaction like?
He does. Yeah, he does, but he only gives me money for what I need. Like, if I'm going to get groceries, he'll give me like $200. I'm like, $200 don't buy anything, and my fear is I'm going to get up to the counter and not have enough money and have to put everything back. And I know he's got the money to give me. That's what's so, it makes me so aggravated at him.
Yeah. Well, what happened over a 2-year, or you separated 2 years ago? What happened as a result of separating? Because it doesn't sound like anything has changed.
It hadn't. No, and honestly, I feel like we got back
together. Why are you not
'cause
still separated if nothing changed?
I know. Well, financially, it was so expensive having to pay attorney fees, which now he had to pay me $750 a week alimony during that time. But I had to get a place to live, so I didn't realize how expensive things was because I was, we had no debt, so I went from not having no debt to having like, $300, like probably $3,500 a month that I had to pay, for my rent.
So you went back to jail because it was too expensive to be free. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I just love them so much. It's crazy. I
Do
know.
you?
So why did you call us? I'm so confused. What do you want us to do?
I just feel like, am I in the wrong for wanting,
No, you're not in the wrong, but you're not doing anything about it.
I know. That's why I called you because
I can't do anything about it. You got to do something about it.
What can I do? What should I do?
I think you've got to decide if you want to be married to someone that treats you this way. And you're going to have to sit down. My recommendation would be that the two of you sit down with a good marriage counselor, and that Bubba hears for the first time in his 25 freaking years that he's mistreating his wife.
And he feels like, he says I don't manage money.
I don't care what he says. You actually care what he says, but I don't.
I know.
So you need to not care what he says. You need to go see a marriage counselor because he sucks as a husband. He's a horrible husband.
I feel like, I agree because I had to go to the doctor yesterday.
Darling, you're just going to talk my arm off and do nothing. I can tell. I can tell exactly what's going to happen with you.
Yeah, he's manipulating.
You got to decide what you're going to do, okay? And quit telling me stories about him. Are you going to actually get on the phone and call a marriage counselor and go sit down with one? You need to do that today. And if you don't do that, quit telling people stories about him. Shut up. Live with it, okay? If you're not going to do nothing about it, shut up about it. But if you're going to do something, then we'll pray for you and back you because, and yes, you're correct, honey, that the situation's weird and he's not a good husband. He's mistreating his wife. And the problem is he's probably not a bad guy. He's probably just doesn't even know how to do it. He probably doesn't know how to be a good husband. He thinks he's taking care of you. He may be that dumb. And so, you know, we're going to have to educate him and teach him that, you know, this is emotional financial abuse, dude. And so you need to involve your wife in the decisions. Let her have the dignity of being one of the two adults in the household. But that's a marriage counseling thing, honey. I can't dictate that. I don't have a magic wand over here to tap him on his little head and say, that's it, dude. Now you're magically healed. I can't do that from here. But you're going to have to work on it. And I don't think you're going to. You just talk about it all the time.
Yeah, you've married a control freak, and then you've let him get more and more control over 25 years, and then you summoned up some guts, which I admire 2 years ago, but then it ended up being a pump fake.
Yeah.
You just pump faked, or he called your bluff. He played to your greatest fears, is my guess, not knowing the details, and you caved. And you've convinced yourself that I love him so much, and I don't think that's the case.
That's enabling. That's just bullcrap.
So
I love him so much I'm willing to be abused.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's warped. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's warped because he's really unhealthy. And I'm not attacking him, and I'm not making excuses for him, but you've got to shake him. He needs to be shaken.
Yeah. If this guy was my buddy, I'd be boxing his ears, man. I'd be giving him a hard time.
That'd be fun.
That'd be an interesting conversation, wouldn't it? Of course, he wouldn't have been my buddy because that kind of
That's true.
That wouldn't have worked out. That wouldn't have worked out either. John is in Nashville. Hey, John, how you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself, Mr. Ramsey?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Well, I'm having some issues. I'm 20 years old. I have a 1-year-old kid and a wife. And I'm in so deep debt to the point where I think I'm going to have to go bankrupt.
What kind of debt have you got, honey?
I have $32,000 in student debts for my wife. She's currently in school. And then I have...
So you're running up... You have $32,000 in student debt, and you're continuing to run up student loan debt?
No, so that's...
Who's paying for her school?
I am. She's a stay-at-home mom.
With what?
We have a 1-year-old. With me working.
Oh, okay. And what other debt do you have, sir?
Yeah. And then I have 2 vehicle loans out. And on my truck, I'm 2 months behind, and I owe...
So how much do you owe on your truck?
I owe $11,700.
Okay.
Right
and what do you
now,
owe on
and
the
then
other
on
car?
hers,
What do you owe on the other car?
$10,000.
Okay. And what other debts do you have? Credit cards?
I have $3,000 in personal loans, and then about $1,000 in credit cards.
Okay. All right. And what do you make, sir?
I make $3,500 a month.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're not bankrupt. You're 20 years old. You have a baby, and you're scared, and you've done some dumb things that have put you in a corner. But it's not bankrupted you. Okay. You have cars that you can't afford. Okay. You can't afford these cars. Obviously, that's why you're behind on the truck. You do not have any organization to your money, no budget or anything else. And student loans are not bankruptable. And you can't bankrupt on the cars unless you pay the bill. And if you don't pay the bill, you give up the car in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So if you have no cars and you still got the student loans, you could be bankrupt. But it really wouldn't do you much good. You could just sell the cars and still have the student loan and not be bankrupt.
Gotcha.
What's the truck worth?
Whenever they pulled it, I had the loan out for $12,750.
What's the truck worth?
It's probably worth $9,000.
Okay, good. And who do you owe the money to?
The bank.
Local bank.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the $10,000 car? What's it worth?
We paid $16,000 for it. I gave $6,000 down.
Good. You need to sell that car this week.
Okay.
And your wife can't be in school. You can't afford to pay for school right now. When your truck payments are behind, your wife's not going to school.
Gotcha.
You don't do that, okay? You got to get organized here. We're going to help you, man. I've been where you are and been scared with a little baby and didn't know what to do. We're going to put a Ramsey coach in your corner at my expense. We're going to pay for it, and we'll put you into Financial Peace University, and you and your wife are going to do that. You're going to have to sell everything, and you're going to have to work like a maniac, and you can turn this around. and we can show you how. You're going to be okay, son. We've told you for years, debt is dumb, cash is king, and the borrower is slave to the lender. So when we find a bank that actually gets that, we shout it from the rooftops. That's why we've partnered with Fair Winds Credit Union. These guys aren't pushing credit cards or auto loans like your current bank is. Fair Winds is on your side, and now they've taken it to the next level. They worked with us to create a high-yield savings account that gives you a great rate without the junk. No bait-and-switch rates, no credit score games, just a simple, powerful way to help you build your emergency fund fast. It's part of what Fairwinds calls the Smart Bundle, made for Ramsey fans. You get high-yield savings, a no-fee checking account, and zero gimmicks. Just common-sense banking that works with the baby steps, not against them. And coming soon, they're launching a brand-new Ramsey debit card. It says debt is normal, be weird, right on the front of it. That's not just a card. That's a daily reminder that you do money differently. So check them out at fairwinds.org/Ramsey.
Fairwinds is federally insured by the NCUA.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal, and you want an expert in your corner, not somebody who got their license 3 weeks ago and happens to be your Aunt Sally. Bad idea. You need like a real estate agent, like somebody that knows what the flip they're doing. Hello. The Ramsey Trusted Program is the only way to find a high-octane, high-protein top agent that you can trust, that we trust, to make your home a blessing and not a burden. It's easy. You compare the agent profiles, you can interview them, you can choose the right one to work with among the Ramsey Trusted bunch. To find a local Ramsey Trusted real estate pro for free, go to RamseySolutions.com/agent or click the link in the show notes. Blake's with us in Asheville, North Carolina. Hi, Blake. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Ramsey. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, I'm starting a new job next week. I'm leaving my current job tomorrow.
Wow, cool. Big deal. Big raise?
Yeah, big deal. It's on paper, it's more money, which I'm excited about.
Well, how's it on paper and not real?
Because it's not in my bank account yet.
Oh, because it hadn't happened yet. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a congressman on Meet the Press for a second with that answer.
On paper.
On paper.
The promise is that we're going to get a raise. Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah. About $1,900 more a month, guaranteed.
Okay, cool.
Starting out $25 an hour. It's 4 days a week, 12-hour shifts, long shifts, but I get the whole weekend off, which is a blessing from what I'm currently doing.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of looking. I want to start investing money. I've not had any wiggle room in my financial situation to start investing. So I'm kind of looking where and what I need to do to start investing. And by the time I'm 60,
yeah, you'd have some money. Good for you. So do you have a 401k at the new place?
I'll have to set one up after 90 days.
Okay. Do the Roth 401k.
Roth, okay.
That means it's going to grow tax-free, but you're going to pay taxes on the money that you put into it now, which is whoop-de-doop-de, no big deal. And they're going to match it probably, and if they do, they match it with non-Roth, which is okay. And pick good growth stock mutual funds. You can go back and listen to this later if you want to, but there's 4 types of mutual funds we invest in. I invest in, Ken invests in. It's what we teach. Growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. Those are the 4 categories you're looking for. And you're looking for long track records, 5 years or more on those. preferably 10 years or more, but long track records. And so if you've got 2 growth funds, you can look at them and go, okay, this one has a 10-year track record and it is averaged 12%, and this one has an 8-year track record and it is averaged 11%. Oh, I'm going with the other one. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's how you're looking at it. It's not real hard. And they can show you every bit of that in the HR stuff with your 401k when the 90 days comes up. And we recommend you put 15% of your income, not more, not less, into your 401k. Now, that is if you are debt-free and have your emergency fund in place of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Is that true?
That is not.
Okay, then we don't need to start investing yet. We need first investment is to get the debt paid off so that you've got the money to invest.
Okay.
How much debt have you got?
I have $36,000 in student loans.
Okay. I'm going to attack that like my hair's on fire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm going to be in a good position next month, especially to start attacking that.
Yeah, I mean, you got an extra $1,900 plus you can squeeze your budget down. So $3,000 in times 12 is $36,000. You're done in 1 year.
Dang.
You got a $2,000 raise, and I'm pulling another $1,000 out of your party budget, and you're going to get out of debt in a year.
And those weekends, so you got some time there.
Yeah, go make some money on the weekends. Let's do it even faster.
Yeah, I do. I do have a weekend kind of gig.
Cool. What do you make?
It's just depending on what it is. I work in event production, so I got my degree in theater, focusing in lighting design. So I do like concerts and weddings, corporate events.
Okay.
And just depending on the position, it depends on the
I'd be working
rate.
all the time for a short period of time. If they don't have one of those gigs going, I'd be doing something else, okay? Lots of stuff going on in your area there in Nashville, lots of things you can lay your hand to as a temporary thing. Because the faster you get out of debt, the faster you get to invest, the faster you're wealthy. Hello.
Yeah.
So that's the way we're looking at this thing. That's how we're going to go at it. Really good question, sir. Congratulations on moving on up. I like it. I like it. I like it.
By the way, just got to say this real quick because we continue to see this stuff on social media and in traditional media about poll came out from Gallup, just came out yesterday. The American people losing faith in capitalism. Is the American dream alive and well? And all this crap that gets put out there. And I just want to point out, here's a young man who is on the precipice of realizing the American dream. And he's calling in with a question like this. So I just want to contrast all the stuff you hear versus here's a real young man who's got it figured out and he's going to get debt free and he's going to be a multimillionaire because he's doing this early on. So this is a separate narrative than what you hear on TikTok and Facebook and all the things. This is a real deal here. So I applaud you, Blake. Because you are, the numbers change when people do.
Guys, when you've been reading these things, you're being lied to.
Yeah, that's right.
The communist professors have put out the poll that capitalism is dead. Mm-hmm. And the communist professors are on payroll at the college that was financed with your freaking student loans. You need to keep in mind where this crap is coming from.
Yeah.
Okay? So capitalism is not dead. As a matter of fact, it is the best way in human history at this particular moment in time. You have, if you are right now in your 20s, you have the most opportunity to build wealth the fastest of any time in any period, in any location since man began walking the earth beside Eve. Old Adam, remember him? Yeah. Since then, all the way to now, this is the best moment in time where I, in my 20s right now, broke, I could be a millionaire so freaking fast it would blind you. There is so much opportunity.
That's right.
But if you sit around and suck your communist thumb and swine about capitalism and wages and house prices while living in your mother's basement typing on your $2,000 iPhone instead of working your little butt off, then you deserve what you get because you're signing up for victim mentality. We don't do victim around here. We do victor. Yeah. Blake is a victor.
That's exactly right.
He's going to get it.
Poster child.
That guy right there, man, he's a stud. Yep. Let me tell you, if he's single and you got a daughter over in Asheville, you need to try to tell her to find him because that one's a keeper right there. That guy's going places, right? Yeah. You don't want your daughter marrying a dreamer. They'll be in your basement. Or what do you do? I'm an activist. I picket against capitalism. Right. Yeah, well, that, God help me. Geez, get away from my kid.
Because you know the captains of industry are looking on the streets of Chicago and New York and L.A. for all those placards. Those poster boards are making a difference. It's just ridiculous.
You think I make a single decision at Ramsey based on those morons? Absolutely zero, okay? Just zero. So nobody does. It's people that are doing things don't have time to watch that garbage.
That's right.
I get aggravated. But that's a good point, Ken, that truthfully, the digital age, you can just decide. And I'm in business. Mm-hmm. And a minute and a half later, you have a website, and Shopify will set the stinking thing up, and you start selling your little idea. And then when it fails, you can start another one next week. I mean, it's just the most wonderful time to be alive and make money and help people.
Yeah.
It's an amazing moment in time.
Blake just got a promotion, and he has got a side hustle on the weekend. If he can do it, you can do it.
But he's been destroyed by $36,000 worth of student loan debt. He's hopeless. Yeah. He'll never make it. Right. The system is rigged against poor Blake. What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 different answers. Economic growth or a recession? Business taxes will go up or down. AI will help us work or it will replace us all. But there's no such thing as a crystal ball. That's why more than 42,000 businesses have future-proofed themselves with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 AI cloud enterprise resource planning system. Ramsey Solutions uses NetSuite, and you should too. Whether your company's earning millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth for the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. NetSuite's real-time insights and forecasting help you see into the future with actionable data. And when you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you spend less time looking backward and more time focusing on what's next. And speaking of what's next, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Ramsey. It's free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. James is in Oklahoma. Hi, James. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, we recently came into an inheritance, and we were wondering what to do with the money. We have a small farm, and we still owe on it, and that's it. But we didn't know if we should invest or pay it off.
Okay. And how much of an inheritance did you receive, sir?
700,000, and there's roughly 330,000 left. That's coming in additionally.
So you're going to get $1 million total. And how much is owed on the farm?
The total land is 336, but the house is separate, and my student loans.
How much are your student loans?
My debt, 46,000.
Okay, so 400,000 clears everything, and out of $1 million.
Roughly 600 will clear everything.
I'm sorry, I got lost. You said you had 340,000 on the land and 40,000 in student loans. Is there a house loan too?
Yes, there's a house loan too.
Oh, separate. Okay, so you could be debt free for 600,000, still have 400,000 left over when the smoke clears.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Why would you not do that?
Well, we were talking. Our financial advisor was wanting to invest the 600,000 now and then, so we just didn't know if we should invest. And he was saying not to pay off the house because of the percentage, and I just didn't really know what to do to get debt free and then worry about investing, or
What's your household income?
Roughly $200,000.
Okay. So if you had zero payments, you'd have lots of money to invest, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think you need a new financial advisor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This one sucks. So yeah. I honestly,
we have cows too that help make the farm payment as well.
Well, that's good. That's good. The cows make money in your pocket if you don't have a payment, right?
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. This idea that wealth is built from borrowed money is mythology when we actually look at the hard data. We studied 10,167 actual millionaires. The number of them that said the way I became a millionaire was my financial advisor told me to invest with him instead of paying off my farm was precisely zero. 10,167 millionaires disagree with your financial advisor.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm saying. Okay? And so if you take the freed up cash flow that you will have and you quit borrowing money the rest of your life, and you're going to have approaching a $2 million net worth when this all happens and a $200,000 income, you're going to be worth $20, $30, $40 million, dude, when this is over. I mean, if you'll just stay out of debt and keep steadily investing and steadily being generous and paying cash for things from this point forward. And let me ask you, who passed away that left you this money?
My dad. He was a big. So
he was a big what?
Fan of yours.
Oh, okay. So, well, regardless if he was a fan of, he's probably a fan of mine because he probably did the stuff I'm talking about long before he even heard of me. And then he just found me, and I agreed with him. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
In other words, it's not me; it was him. And I think if he's in heaven and you pay off your farm, I see him smiling. What do you think?
No, yes, sir. I completely agree.
He'll also be smiling when you fire this financial advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, that's the issue. This financial advisor, you've trusted up into this point, and he gave you this advice, and yet something in you said, I think I should call Dave today.
No, it doesn't ring with what Dad taught me.
So I trust
this is
the guy.
Dad's money I'm getting. Yeah. I'm going to honor him with this legacy. Yeah. And this guy, it doesn't feel right.
So you can't be afraid to disappoint
tuning fork of your heart.
Yeah. So disappoint the financial advisor. That's what's going on here.
I'm happy to disappoint this person.
I know you are, but a lot of our callers, we got to get them to a point where we realize, hey, you already answered this question before you called us.
Here's the other thing. Unless I miss my guess, this guy that I'm talking to on the phone right now's net worth before the inheritance was greater than the financial advisors.
Guaranteed. The dirt, the cows, everything, all of it.
This is just saying. Caroline's in Colorado. Hi, Caroline. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Good. How can we help?
I'm feeling a little discouraged. A year ago, my husband and I were on baby step 4. We had 2 full-time jobs, 3 additional income streams. But in the last 12 months, my husband lost his job. We're down 2 income streams. We had to deplete our emergency savings, use some retirement funds, and go into debt. And
why?
I guess I can explain that.
You didn't have to, but you did. Why?
We were trying to get out of debt by selling one of our properties.
You got into debt, you said.
Yes, because it took us longer to sell the property, and we had to put more into it to sell it than we were expecting to.
But why did you not just go get the job and replace the income?
I'm sorry, which job?
The one he lost.
Oh, he did. He found another job, but he had to take a pay cut.
Okay. There's a lot of have-tos in this story. All right. And, okay. How can I best help, darling?
Well, so we are net worth millionaires, but we're struggling to get by month to month, and we recently sold one of our rental properties, like I said, to get us out of debt, and we're just at a crossroads and unsure of what the next best move is.
Okay. If you have a net worth So is your household expenses too high?
Yes.
Okay. So what are we doing to cut those?
I mean, I've cut back on everything.
What's it take for you to live a year?
Well, including the mortgages that we have, it's around $15,000 a month.
Okay. So you're net worth millionaires, but you've leveraged yourself into real estate and gone broke.
Yes.
You need to be selling every piece of real estate you have except your personal residence. You're not cash flowing on this. Your $1 million net worth is not paying you enough to justify the expenses that you have.
Okay, so, but
you've got debt associated with all this net worth, so the net worth is invalid.
Okay, but my husband's income isn't enough for us to live off of, and we need additional.
It is if you don't need $15,000 a month to live. Most people don't. That's
right.
Ridiculous.
Are you catching what we're saying? What's the biggest chunk of the 15? Give us the real numbers.
I mean, the two mortgages, obviously.
Right. So what are those two mortgages?
One is $4,600 and one is $3,400.
Right.
So sell them.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying is we did sell a property and we have.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the property you already sold. I'm talking about the one that's killing you right now. You have houses you can't afford.
Okay. It's I mean, it's worth $1.8 million, and we have about $260,000 left.
Wonderful, but it's killing you.
And then do what with the money?
Buy a paid-for house that has no mortgages.
Okay.
You know, you've got debt that's so high that it is invalid, that is creating personal consumption debt on real estate. You have two houses, neither of one of which are rentals, neither one of which are investment properties. You are consuming $8,000, $9,000 a month in mortgage payments. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes, sir. We have a third rent.
I know, but those properties right there are creating the $15,000 a month nut you want to crack, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
sir.
you bought houses you can't afford, honey. That's what we're saying. And so get your dadgum outgo where it fits within your income. And that's called selling these extra houses. You've been living higher on the hog than you can afford. Or than you can afford now, anyway. Buying a home these days can be a real dog-eat-dog situation. Just when you think you've found the right house, somebody else swoops in with a better offer. So you need an edge. Home Buyer Edge from Churchill Mortgage can help you win against the competition with the ultimate triple threat for home buyers. 1, your pre-approval is handled by real humans, not just a computer, so you're positioned like a cash buyer even without the cash. 2, sellers love a sure thing. So Churchill backs your offer with a $10,000 seller guarantee. If your loan falls through, the seller gets $10,000, which takes away their fears about financing and gives them another reason to say yes to your offer. And 3, Churchill secures your rate for 90 days, so you don't have to worry about the interest rates going up while you find the right home. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and if rates drop, so does yours automatically. With Home Buyer Edge from Churchill, you're not just another buyer, you're a top contender. Go to churchillmortgage.com to arm yourself with the ultimate home buying edge today. That's churchillmortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. Home Buyer Edge and Seller Guarantee are available for qualifying borrowers and select loan types only and are not available in all states or locations. NMLS ID 1591, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Chris is in Wyoming. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I just wanted to give you guys a call. Kind of going through some struggles and with debt, and I got fired from my job on Wednesday, and
Whoa.
So
that sucks. What happened?
They gave me an evaluation, and I guess I didn't score high enough, and I think they fired me because of my hearing issues, because I was born partially deaf, and so I think that's part of the reason why they fired me, because I couldn't understand things. And
yeah, you're going to have to speak directly into your phone, sir. You got muffled on me there, but you had trouble understanding things. What was the job?
Yeah, I was working at a casino. I was doing surveillance, and they just kind of looking at cameras. I'm answering phones, and I think when I just wasn't understanding a lot of stuff that I was being told, and they didn't tell me they fired me because of my hearing issues, but I kind of think that's what it was.
Well, and the reason I'm asking this follow-up is because this is going to inform maybe some advice we give you going forward. When they went through the evaluation, whether or not they told you that or not, did you agree that you weren't meeting their evaluation points?
Yeah, I do agree.
Listen, you're not speaking directly into your phone again, honey. You don't have to do that. It's muffled. Okay.
Yeah, so I do agree that I was having a hard time understanding things that the tasks that they were giving me.
Okay.
Okay.
And so your biggest crisis is you're unemployed.
Yeah, I'm unemployed, and my wife can't work because she tore her femur back when she was in the military, and she's using 2 canes, and she hasn't worked for so long, and so it's been hard to try to take care of her, myself, and our 3 kids. And
are you aware of what kind of work that you can do where the hearing is not going to be that big of an issue?
For like 15 to 20 plus years, I was doing like physical work, like warehouse type work, because it really didn't involve a whole lot of, I still had to hear things, but it wasn't as bad as, having to I wouldn't have to answer phones or any type of thing like that. And so I've been trying to get back into that again. It's just been, with winter hours coming up, it's just kind of been more harder to get into that again.
How did you lose your hearing?
I was born with it. It was genetic.
Okay. Do you have hearing aids?
Yeah, I do. I went through the Wyoming workforce, but
they're not working.
They're working. They've been a big help. But even after I got the hearing aids with the casino, I was still having a hard time. So I try to do everything the best I can, and I seem to still have a hard time hearing.
Well, the casino is a very noisy place, and even with hearing aids, that can be a problem. Well, I'm worried about your location. It seems when you said winter hours that you have limited opportunities due to where you are. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, because I'm in here in Cheyenne, and they usually, when winter starts coming up, that's when they a lot of places, cut back hours, and because they're fully staffed, and it's harder to get into places. And
sure. How much money do you need to make? What's the bottom line that would just take care of you guys, just your basic expenses? What do you need?
My rent. It's my rent, my electric. I don't have to worry about like gas or anything.
Give me a number. Do you got a number, a monthly number that you need to live?
And in all honesty, I honestly don't know. Can't really figure out a number. It's usually about I think like $3,000 a month. That's usually where all my bills are at. Because I got 2 vehicles, and then my kids, taking care of the expenses for them too, and the food and all that stuff. And
you have 2 car payments?
Yeah, I have 2 car payments. I have my truck payment, which is $740, and then my car payment's $360.
I don't know what in the world planet you're on that you think you can afford a $700 truck payment.
When I was working with Walmart, I got fired from them the same year in January.
Why did you get fired from Walmart?
Because of my attendance, because of the wife's medical issues with her leg, and then my mental health. I was leaving a lot, and I was calling off a lot because of my mental health. And I ended up, after I got fired, I ended up in a mental health
What's the nature
hospital.
of your mental health problem?
Well, when my daughter was born, she...
No, your mental health problem. What's the nature of your mental health problem?
I'm depressed.
Okay. All right.
And
is your wife on military disability?
No, she's been trying to fight with the VA for several years, and
are you on
any
kind of disability?
No, I'm not. I tried to get on Social Security, and they denied me because I finally got the job at the casino, and they denied me because I was making too much, and so
that would be true. That would be obvious. Yeah. Okay. So what we've got to do is we got to figure out a career where you can make some basic income, and son, you got to sell your truck. A $780 truck in this picture that you have painted for the last few minutes is insanity. It's nuts. So you got to get rid of the $780 payment, and you guys could go down to one car for that matter. Your wife doesn't work. She's on 2 canes. I don't think she needs to be driving a lot. So you got, and then you're going to have to pick up work doing a lot of other stuff until you can land something that's stable. Any good suggestions, Ken?
Well, the reason I went that direction of what have you done or what kind of work is because you're going to have to get back into that space. And what I heard was a lot of limitations, but right now you can't accept limitations. I understand depression is real. That's a real thing. I get it. But you're going to have to fight through that because you are the person that this entire household is relying on. So yeah, manufacturing, warehouse work. I'm showing up and I'm going to go back to Walmart and I'm going to say, hey, here's what happened to me. I'm going to power through it. I mean, anything and everything right now, 2 and 3 jobs. You have got to get enough money that maybe I'd see a therapist. I'd scrape enough money together where you get some help because a professional can help you with some tools to power through the depression. And this is desperation time.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're facing all this.
So sorry.
I'm 100% sure we got to get your income up, and I'm 100% sure you need to sell your truck. And when you do those 2 things, you create a sustainable situation mathematically, and that gives you the opportunity to work through the emotional struggles that you got. So keep it up, dude. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. You can do it.
Hey, you guys, more than 100 million Americans carry medical debt, and that is so scary. And it shows that traditional coverage often leaves people to face big bills alone. Families need more than just coverage. They need community. So what if your healthcare costs less and you are actually supported by other believers in the process? That's why I love Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is a budget-friendly, faith-based alternative to health insurance that's been serving believers since 1981. And they've paid over $12 billion in medical bills. Y'all, that is faith in action. So let me say it again. CHM is not insurance. It's a nationwide health cost-sharing ministry. It's Christians helping other Christians with their medical bills. With CHM, you get to choose your providers. There are no networks, no surprise bills, and no insurance headaches. Whether you're just starting out as a family or you're looking for something that fits your budget better, CHM is where your faith and finances agree. Programs start at just $98 a month. So go to chministries.org/budget to learn more and take the leap of faith today. That's chministries.org/budget.
Ramsey Show question of the day is brought to you by Why Refi. You may think no one can help with your defaulted private student loans, but Why Refi is different. They work with borrowers in tough spots without judgment. Check them out at whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey, not in all states.
Today's question comes from Carlos in Texas, and he gives us some context from a Newsweek article that I'll read first, and then his question. The federal government will accept Venmo payments from citizens who want to help pay off the national debt. The Treasury has begun accepting Venmo transactions as contributions toward the national debt, which currently stands at $36 trillion. I made it through that, James, without laughing. But now Carlos's question based on this excerpt. What is your opinion on the new option of being able to voluntarily Venmo the U.S. government to help pay down the national debt? Well, my opinion comes from one of my favorite movies where Anthony Hopkins plays this old man who's had a stroke. And now it hits. I said it's one of my favorite movies. What is that movie where Brad Pitt's in it and he's the old and they're coming for his land? Yeah. Somebody bail me out, James. What is that movie name?
Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall.
That's
and
it,
they
yeah.
come over and his son comes up to old Anthony Hopkins who suffered a stroke and he has a chalkboard around his neck. That's how he communicates with his family. And they say, Dad, they're offering us land. The government's offering us money for our land. And he says, his mouth is all crooked, and he leans in. He says, "Screw 'em! Screw 'em!" That's my answer. That's my answer. Are you kidding me? The government came up with this idea that we're going to Venmo my money when they already tax me too much, Dave? My blood pressure's unhealthy.
It's not good for you.
Take the ball away from
bad.
me.
This is bad for you, Ken. I could tell. This is not, your mental health now, Ken.
Dave, I need to take the rest of the show off. My mental health is too fragile right now. I've not heard this. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. I think it's wonderful because there's always some idiot out there who says that everyone should pay their fair share, and I would be willing to pay more. Someone always says that when they're talking about tax the rich. Right?
Yeah, oh, sure.
And so I always wanted them, we had that argument many years ago here in the state of Tennessee. We ran a governor out of office that tried to bring in a state income tax, and he was confused, and the people here didn't want that. And
so glorious.
Anyway, so yeah, but there were all these libbies that were saying, like, oh, well, I would pay more. And we're like, well, you can. Just send them a check, you doofus.
Right.
And so if you want to pay more because you just think that this is the whole thing's such a great operation, then sign up for Venmo, baby. Have at it. But the rest of us who have something akin to common sense would be like, screw you.
Right. It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life.
You got to be kidding. Here's the thing. 49% of Americans pay zero
that's right.
federal income tax. Did you know that? 51% of us carry the whole thing.
That's not helping my blood pressure,
zero
Dave.
Federal income tax.
Oh.
So please don't talk to me about fair share ever again.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll help you with this. So everybody ought to be paying something.
Yeah.
I don't care if you make $5 and you pay a nickel. I don't care. You ought to be paying a little something. Everybody pays a little something. And, and so we can start arguing about flat tax now, and that would be fair. If I pay 10% of my income and you pay 10% of your income, and I make a lot more, so I pay a lot more. That's fair. The way it is now is not fair. So, but it's not equitable. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to pay some more into the government, I think if you're the type of person that believes this is a good idea, I think you should do it.
You know what? That's actually true. If you're that stupid, then you shouldn't have any money anyway. So go ahead and send it to the same organization that ran up the debt to $36 trillion and steaming towards $40 trillion. It's the most. It's just nonsensical. So sure, you should do that.
They just did that to just for you and me.
Is that a fake question? Is that just to see if
100% real? But I knew it would be gold with y'all too.
I feel like I need a whole bottle of Pepsid AC just chewing on them after that question. Yikes.
Rochelle is in Texas. Hi, Rochelle. How are you?
Hey, it's not Rochelle. She chickened out. I'm her husband.
Okay. So what's the chicken husband's name? What's your name?
The chicken husband's name's Charles.
Hey, Charles. How are you, man?
I'm good, and thank you for taking our call. I've been listening to you guys for a long time.
Thank you. How can we help, sir?
So I'm active duty military, and my wife and I we're going to be getting transferred out to Hawaii for our next unit. We're kind of at an impasse right now. We're finished with baby step 5, and we're considering buying a house. But as it sits right now, with the math that we've done, it seems like buying a house in Hawaii is going to tie up so much of our liquidity. It just seems like it'll do better invested in good growth stock mutual funds. We're hoping to get your opinion on that.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. And
Thank
the
you.
way we coach the military, and we coach a lot of folks in the military over the last 30 years, is there are some times and when you make a move for 2 years that you will buy a house, but most of the time you shouldn't. Most of the time you should rent. And here's the math and the reason. Most markets, most real estate markets, on average, do not increase enough during the 2-year period of time that you're there to be able to sell it and make money. You will lose money on the transaction. And most real estate markets move slowly. Now, you're moving into Oahu, I assume.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. And so, the Oahu market has a lot of military saturation, a ton of it. And so there's always a good amount of military type housing for sale, which means it's harder to sell it when you get ready to move. Now, if you've got the money to play in a non-military neighborhood, so to speak, that maybe you could, if it goes up in value fast enough and you can sell it quick enough, those are the two variables, you can make money, then it's okay to buy. But probably in Oahu, you're probably going to be better off renting. Transpose that with, we were doing some stuff with SEAL Team, and they're in the San Diego market, right? San Diego real estate generally is going up very quickly and generally sells very quickly, and it's not saturated with military. And so that's a market Virginia Beach is another one, the market you could move into and out of and make money. But if you're going to be stationed in the middle of a Kansas cornfield and it's all military around you, because the only thing in the entire area is military, you're always going to have a bunch of military people that moved off and their houses are for sale or for rent. And it screws up the market and makes it hard to sell. And so you can end up with 273 days on the market, 9 months to get out of the stupid thing, and you're going to lose your butt. So I think you're going to, when you investigate Oahu, you're going to figure out that you're going to lose money if you buy for 2 years.
I got it. And also an additional worry that we have is our next unit will almost guaranteed be Kodiak, Alaska, and my pay is going to drop pretty significantly off that Oahu pay. So with the house not being paid off, which again we calculated out, I don't think we'll be able to pay it off in time if it's an $800,000 house, for example.
Yep.
When we go to Kodiak, we wouldn't be able to make that work. The pay would just be too
exactly.
little.
And again, Kodiak is going to be a lot of military in that market, right?
Right.
Real strong military consideration. And so So thank you for your service. But what I'm going to be doing is piling up money. And when you are stationed in an area that is a vibrant real estate market that is not saturated with military, you can make money, then it's okay to buy. Otherwise, I would rent and pile up money for when I retire, and then I'm going to, from the military, and then I'm going to go buy when I hit my 20-year or whatever it is you decide to walk on it. Again, thank you for your service.
Y'all, do you want to know a game changer for your grocery budget? Start your weekly shopping at Aldi. Seriously, by making Aldi your first stop, you can easily check off your family favorites. From fresh organic produce to grass-fed ground beef, marinated, ready-to-cook chicken breasts, and high-quality dairy products. You'll be able to make incredible meals while keeping your budget on track. So no overpriced gimmicks or membership fees here. Now, real families like yours are saving up to $4,000 a year just by making Aldi their go-to grocery store every week. Find a store near you at aldi.us. That's ALDI.us.
Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market.
If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck and you can't get ahead, join one of our free Every Dollar trainings. Jade Warshaw, Rachel Cruz, George Camel, our Ramsey personalities, are doing trainings every week this month. They're all hosted by one of the Ramsey personalities, and we're going to show you how to stick to a budget, find thousands of dollars of margin using every dollar so you can get out of debt. When you do a budget, you feel like you got a raise. That's what it amounts to, and we're going to show you how that works exactly. And you can ask questions during the live Q&A. Sign up for free at RamseySolutions.com/webinar. Brittany is in Huntsville. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
My husband and I just started Financial Peace University and downloaded Every Dollar, and we are struggling with whether or not we should do the snowball out of order. So right now, other than mortgage, our only debts are about $22,000 on my vehicle that I drive and about $31,000 on my student loans, which are broken up into 7 different loan groups. So the loans would technically be the smaller debts that we should snowball first. But I am pregnant and due in 6 months. My current car won't safely fit 2 car seats for our toddler and new baby. So I feel like I should focus on the car first, and was just wondering what you all think on that.
So you owe how much on the car? $32,000, and it won't hold car seats.
$22,000.
Oh, 22.
It was a RAV. Yeah, 22.
Okay.
The 31
What's
is
it worth?
It's worth about 22 with trade-in value. Kelly Blue Book said we could get 24 or 25.
What's your household income?
About $150,000. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom, so that's all my husband.
Okay, and what does your husband drive?
He has a lease deal through his job. He's an engineer for Toyota, so he's.
What does he drive?
A Tundra truck.
Okay.
What year is your RAV4?
2021, I think.
Okay, so who told you that the RAV4 cannot accommodate 2 car seats safely?
So I guess I told me that because our current car seat and our infant car seat for my toddler that we had, we just upgraded his. Neither of those will fit behind the driver's side without touching the seat, and there's supposed to be a 1 to 2 inch gap.
Well, the manufacturer says that you can actually, on the 2019 and later models, you can put 3 car seats in there. So I'm not trying to counterpoint you, but you've created this narrative that's completely false.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm fine with selling the RAV. Why don't you just sell it and buy a $10,000 car?
Okay.
That's a van. Buy a $10,000 minivan.
Okay.
And that reduces your debt from 22 to 10.
Well, so the thing is like we just started doing Ramsey Solutions financial planning, so we have $10,000. Like we could buy a $10,000 vehicle.
Great. Go
outright.
buy a $10,000 car and sell the RAV, and you got rid of $22,000 worth of debt. Yay.
Okay. Perfect.
No, I thought you were trying to...
a $10,000 minivan though, not a $30,000.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were leaning towards.
No. So we were just looking at it because we were trying to figure out. We thought we were upside down on the car. Turns out we aren't, which is good.
That's awesome. Yeah, just get out of it, and then all you got to do is fight through the student loans, and you're driving a $10,000 car, and you make $150,000, and you got a baby. This is awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but just fight through the student loans then, and But you always use these things as a reason to go backwards. The reason Ken and I were both dancing over here on the other side of the microphone is 90% of the time that somebody calls with your question, Brittany, they want to move up in car.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Exactly what I thought.
I just want a bigger vehicle. I don't know.
I don't blame you. That little Rav is a tiny little.
Ramsey.
It's a tiny little. Wishes it was a Jeep car. Yeah, and so, it's and I don't blame you. I mean, that's kind of weird. Thinking about babies in the back of it's weird in my mind. So I don't mind. Yeah, but move down in car and take your $10,000 and let's accelerate this whole process. Okay.
Okay.
You get to accomplish both goals in a positive way.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And I'm glad you gave perspective because that's what I thought we were being set up for.
I did too.
It's like, wait a second.
People. That's what most people do, and we have to be careful about because everybody that calls us, not most people. So
hey, listen, full confession. My mom held me in her arms. That's how old I am.
I know. Yeah.
So I don't do well with the.
Well,
the car seats are too big. What is happening?
But the Rav is a tiny little.
I get it.
It's a tiny little.
I get it. I was wrong.
It's a Jeep that needs you add water to. I mean, it's too small.
A Chia car?
It's a Chia car.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Grant is in Montana. Hey, Grant, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Great, man. How can we help?
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So I'm looking for some help or some guidance on whether the balance, whether taking care of my father is a priority or building a life with my girlfriend / soon-to-be wife. I started my life over at 25. I got sober, built a career for myself, and about 2 years ago, I had to move in with my father. He's disabled, not able to take care of his home and property.
How old is he?
68.
And what is the nature of his disability?
He's confined to a wheelchair. He has some spine issues that
how long has he been
surgery
that way?
Helped. About 5 years now.
And you've been with him for 5 years?
No, I've been with him for 2 years. 2 years ago, the HOA sent him a letter. I had been mowing the lawn and taking the trash out and doing what I could, but I lived about a half hour away, and so we just made the decision.
So are you planning to live with him for the next 10 years?
That was my plan. I was single at the time that I made this decision, and then, girl came along.
So now you're not planning to live there for 10 years. So we have to have a plan for Dad and a plan for your life. Mm-hmm. They don't have to. It doesn't have to be either or. It should be both. But the plan for Dad might not be that you live there. It might be that we figure out some other way that he gets cared for.
Sure. So what we've done is in preparation for that plan or whatnot. He spent a lot of his retirement. He retired pretty early. He retired when I was about 15. I'm 34 now. So he spent a lot of his retirement. Sort of the big thing he has left is the house. But we took the house and put it in a trust of which I'm the beneficiary now, in preparation for him being moved on to Medicaid at some point.
You understand Medicaid is welfare.
Yes.
And you understand that welfare nursing home is a different level of care.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not.
So you're planning to put him in a Medicaid nursing home so you can keep the house.
That was not my plan. That was what he wanted to do in case he had to go on Medicaid because they have like a 5-year look back period.
They sure do.
Yeah.
And the trust doesn't help at all. They can undo the trust on the 5-year look back. So it's got to be 5 years. Has it been 5 years?
Yeah. No, we just put the house into the trust last year. So
you got 4 years that you're going to continue this if you're going to continue this. Probably not going to work. I think you're selling the house so that your dad can use his money to care for him so that you can, and he gets a sustainable situation. He can't live in this house without help, and he doesn't have the money for the help, and you're not the help anymore.
Right. Well, that's where I struggle.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I do.
No dad that is a good man wants his kid to have no life when he's sitting on a house that the money from the house will take care of him. You're supposed to go on and have a life, young man. And you can take care of your dad. You can set up a situation where your dad is cared for with the equity from this house, moving into a one-level house, a situation where he's got care with the money that's the equity because he's blown his retirement. And then you go on and have a life in the process. These things are not incongruent. Let's face it, health insurance today is more complicated than ever. The system isn't built to help the average person understand, and it leaves too many families unprotected. That's why you need my friends at Health Trust Financial. They aren't just brokers, they're trusted health insurance advisors who have been helping families like yours for over 20 years. You don't have to navigate it alone. The experts at Health Trust Financial listen to your needs, work to understand your family situation and budget, then help you choose the health insurance plan that's right for you. That's why they're Ramsey Trusted and why we've worked with them for 2 decades. Look, medical debt is the number one cause of bankruptcy in America today. One hospital visit can wipe out your savings and undo all your hard work. So health insurance isn't optional. It's part of your financial defense plan. Health Trust Financial knows their stuff, and they're the only health insurance provider I recommend. So get clear about health insurance plans and get the coverage that's right for you at healthtrustfinancial.com. EJ's in Philadelphia. Hi, EJ. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, my fiance and I are getting married in about a month, and we're about to receive $20,000 as a gift, not for the wedding, but because we're getting married. And we wanted to know, yeah, it really is. And we wanted to know what would be the best direction or the best place for us to put that money. So just for some context, we just finished school, her last December and me over this past summer, and we just started working full time. And the only debt that we have is $18,000 in student loan. And so we're trying to figure out if we should save that money and snowball our debt, or move into a better place, or whatever. And I just wanted to know what you think would be a good direction for us to go in with that money.
Yeah. The problem with this is it's when you get a gift like this in a situation like this, it's $20,000 and it feels emotionally like it's $200,000.
Right.
I mean, it's just exciting and wonderful, and what a wonderful, generous gift. And then if you want to do something that's non-sexy but smart with it, it's hard because it's emotional. Yeah. And
right.
So, you know, the answer to what we would teach you at Ramsey to do with any money that you get it from any source is to work the baby steps. Why? Because that's the shortest path to wealth and put you in a position to do anything else you want to do, which is generosity, right. Change your family tree, buy a house, all those kinds of things. And so we're always going to do that, but with a gift like this, it's very hard because this has got such sizzle on it that it's different than, you know, Dave, I got $20,000 in a mutual fund. What do I do with it? That's different than I got a wedding gift and I'm newly married and newly graduated. It just has, that's got a lot of sizzle on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it makes it very hard for you to do what I'm going to tell you to do, which is just pay off your student loan, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to say, yay! Yeah.
Yay! Let's use that money to pay off debt.
Yeah. I got it. I'm trying to. I set you up, man. But I mean, I understand the feels on this. So, but yeah, because the faster you get out of debt, the faster you have control of your most powerful wealth building tool, which is not the 20,000, but is your income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's your income going to be now? The two of you.
So I work 2 jobs and I make around 90,000 a year, and my fiance makes around 55,000.
And those are your postgraduate jobs, right?
Yeah, she's in her field that she studied. I went to school for ministry, and I worked that part time.
Okay.
And I do HVAC and plumbing full time, which I did not go to school for.
Yeah, that's not unusual. Yeah, 80% of pastors are bivocational in America today. So,
right.
All right. So all right. So you got $140,000 household income.
Yes.
And you're how old?
I just turned 22.
See, that's awesome, man. You're killing it.
Yeah.
And now you got no debt because of this wonderful gift.
Right.
It's just emotionally hard to do that, but it's the smart thing to do. It is what I would do, and it's what I'm going to tell you to do. And if you were my son, who was 22, I would tell you to do this, and I'm going to tell you to do this because I love you, but I'm also admitting simultaneously that it absolutely has no sizzle, and it's a sizzle gift with a wah suggestion. Yeah. But the faster you get out of debt, the faster you can build wealth, the faster you'll be able to have a nice family, the faster you'll be able to do all these things. And I'm going to get you there as fast as I can every time. And I'm 1,000% consistent on this. Kenneth is in Georgia. Hi, Kenneth. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Thanks so much for having me today.
Sure. What's up?
I just discovered the Ramsey plan this past summer, and it's really clicked with me. I've been enjoying it so far. We are on baby step 2, but my wife and I are thinking about having a second child, and I just wanted to make sure that financially this is something we can afford. It's not going to crush us. I'm in a little bit more of a house than I really should be. We're having a mortgage payment of about $4,100 a month, whereas we take home about $12,000. I do have a side gig that brings in about $2,000 to $4,000 extra a month, so that does help a lot. But
that makes that number work as long as you do that. Until your other income goes up, you're going to keep the side gig because otherwise you can't afford the house. You're right, but that's not too bad.
Okay, good.
Well, why would you not be able to afford a baby? I don't understand.
We've just been having repair bill after repair bill with this house. It needs a new roof. It's got foundation issues. We had to replace the entire HVAC. We've got to set up a new drainage unit. And I don't know, maybe I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Maybe this is an emotional thing, but I'm just worried. Can I afford this? Am I going to sink myself?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got to trade a money pit for a baby, I'd trade for the baby.
Well, that's a pretty easy call, yeah.
Yeah. That's an easy decision. So sell the money pit and go get you something else. If you don't think the repairs are done, sometimes these things go in waves, though, right? I mean, maybe you just finished your last wave of repairs and you won't have any for a while.
That would be nice. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. If that's the case, it's emotional.
Yeah.
If it's not, you're observing a logical pattern, and you're wise to be concerned.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you got to decide which one of those it is. Do you think it's over?
I think that these are one-time repairs. I think that
they're each of the ones you named are. But I mean, is the pattern over, or are we in a money pit?
That's what I'm worried about. I'm
How
hoping
old's the
pattern's
house?
over. It's about 25 years old, and we've been in it for about a year.
So, you've been through the other mechanicals, the water heater, the dishwashers, all that's new?
We have replaced the dishwasher. We have not replaced the water heater yet.
25-year water heater's done, bud.
Yeah, it's going to need it real soon.
Yeah. So, you got some things like that are aging out, that are what we call functional obsolescence in the real estate business. So, they're functionally obsolete. And so, that's the age of the house. And that doesn't mean it's a money pit. It just means it's an old house. And so, one of our houses is 13 years old, and I'm putting a roof on it this week. And I just put a heat and air system in it. So it's the same thing. Both of them went at the same time. And so, it just kind of goes with the calendar is what I'm saying. And so if you think you're facing that, then you may want to buy a newer property that's a little different and a little less expensive maybe, and that is your family planning.
Yeah, I would have wanted to know, is there an emotional attachment for you and the wife? Doesn't sound like you're too emotionally attached to it, but is she? But I agree. I would take my losses early. I'd talk to a great real estate pro and do some homework on this house. What needs to be done is what's done already enough to move the house. I mean, I think you need to know all the information that you're dealing with because you're clearly frustrated.
Yeah.
And I just learned a new phrase. I got to figure out how to use it this week.
Functional obsolescence.
I got to tell you, that's impressive. I don't know that I could get it out. I got to practice that one in front of the mirror. It's the obsolescence. That's a tough word, but that's a new one for me. I feel like if I drop that in the right room.
Comes out of my real estate training back in the day, way back in the day. Yeah. So.
I thought you were going to say it comes out of somewhere else. I didn't know where you were going.
It does that too. But the
functional obsolescence. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
All right.
With vehicles, it's planned obsolescence, right?
See,
you've heard that.
Now you're showing off.
You've heard that. No, I mean, the whole auto industry plans for the car to deteriorate in a certain number of years.
I feel smarter because I now know about functional obsolescence and planned obsolescence. Not a book that's coming to you anytime soon, but I do like that I know that.
Not a title that would sell.
Yeah, not a good idea.
We're going to probably back right off of that on the Ramsey personality title list.
It's not gonna make the cut.
Yeah, but the deal is stuff wears out. Hello, that's all. That's all it means.
It's
It's just a John Deloney word that means stuff wears out. That's all it is.
It's a good Scrabble word.
Oh yeah. If you could spell it.
I couldn't.
I'd have to look it up, but I think that's illegal in Scrabble. So what do I know? Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. He's also host of the Front Row Seat show on Ramsey Network, which is exploding. If you've not watched this long-form interview show, there's a little bit of everybody been on there already. You don't want to miss it. Be sure and check it out. Benjamin is with us in Seattle. Hi, Benjamin. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How we doing?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Love to hear it. I got a question about rolling over my current 401k into a Roth IRA, even though I'm still employed with the 401k.
Don't think you can do it.
Okay.
You can roll it into a Roth 401k inside your company. Does your company have a Roth 401k option?
Yes, it does.
Okay, you can move it there, but I don't think you can move a 401k while you're still employed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Of any kind, traditional Roth, anything. So how much is in it?
Not much. It's around $30,000.
Okay, so you're going to create about $7,000 in taxes, okay?
Okay.
When you do that, because it's all, you're going to take a non-taxed item and make it taxable that year. Do you have an extra $7,000 laying around to pay the taxes?
The 401k is a Roth 401k.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you just wanted to roll it out to an individual from the Roth 401k. I thought you were in a traditional 401k. I'm sorry.
Roth 401k into a Roth IRA.
Gotcha. Okay. Can't do it while you still work there, I don't think.
Gotcha.
Don't need to unless you get... Why, you just got crummy options or what?
Yeah, crummy options. It's a 2% match, and so just not getting a lot there. My Roth IRA has probably $40,000 in it, so I was just thinking if I had a bigger number in one account, more growth versus, two accounts.
No. Let's pretend that that the current individual is returning 10% and your company was returning 10%. It's the exact same thing as if you put them together and they return 10%.
Gotcha.
A bigger number does not make you more money unless the percentage is different. The percent of return is different. You follow me?
I do.
Okay. So, and besides that, I don't think you can move it until you leave the company anyway. So I think you're there. And a 2% match is 100% on 2%. That's pretty good. You got 2% before you got started. So, yeah, just be careful and pick out good options. Make sure you're fully funding the individual one. And there we go. That's one of those math things that there's a couple of those that float around in the culture, Ken, that are interesting. And I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people think that if I put all my accounts together in one big lump sum and I make the exact same interest rate, then I'm going to make more money. Right. You'll make more actual dollars, but you don't make more than the total would have been anyway.
Correct. Because the sum hasn't changed. It's just now consolidated versus...
The total principal that is earning has not changed. That's it's just in being in one pile, being in 6 piles doesn't matter.
Right.
Assuming the piles are paying exactly the same for purposes of this math riddle. Yeah. The other one is funny is I don't want to pay off my mortgage because I've already paid all the interest.
Correct.
And that's not true. You don't prepay interest at all on an amortization mortgage. A standard mortgage is calculated like simple interest. And we can walk you through that for the fun of it. Okay, you take your annual percentage rate, say 6%, divide it by 12, which would be your monthly percentage rate. So that would be 0.5% per month. And so you're paying 0.5% on that month's outstanding balance. When you look at your amortization schedule and you say, what number of dollars of my monthly payment is going towards interest this month, you're going to find it to be, if you have a 6% mortgage, exactly 0.5% of whatever's outstanding right now. Ta-da. And that's called a simple interest calculation. But the amortization schedule, because it starts out with the largest possible balance, so more is going to interest on the first payment than ever will again. And every time you pay a payment, the more goes to principal, less goes to interest, more goes to principal, less goes to interest every time you pay a payment. And because you pay so much interest on the front end like that, it makes people think they're prepaying interest, and they're not.
That's right.
You're only paying exactly what you owe. So there's no disadvantage at any time to pay off a mortgage. No disadvantage, mathematically. You only paid what was appropriate. And so if you prepay, if you send them an extra $10,000, it slides you forward in the amortization schedule. So figure out what your principal balance is, $290,000 a day, move over in the amortization schedule to $280,000, and that's what your next payment will look like, not your next payment. Because now you have $10,000 less that 0.5% this month is being multiplied on. 280 versus 290 in my example, okay? And so bunch of math gibberish there, but all of that to say there's this interesting mythology that runs around, and then people make bad decisions on that. I guess the other one that those don't aggravate me, just I'm a math nerd, but the one that aggravates me is where people just go ahead and transfer their house prior to death. I'm going to just deed this to my kid. It's a $200,000 house, and I'm just going to give it to him, and I'm 60 years old, and then I'm going to live in it. Well, honey, there's just so much that you don't understand about what you just screwed up. Number one, when you give someone an asset that's $200,000, you just got gift tax. And when you get audited, they're going to tax you at 55% of that gift.
Oof.
The gift tax is horrendous. So you can't just decide I'm just going to give somebody money. You have to go through a few little tax moves in order to do that. You can do it, but you have to file some forms and do it on the Unified Estate Tax Credit. There's a way to do it. But you also just lost what's called stepped-up basis on that. So here, let me help you with this. Mom and Dad bought the house in 1900 whatever, right? And so they paid almost nothing for it. And so when you get the house as a gift, your basis for calculating capital gains is what their basis was, which is nothing. And so when you sell the house, you're going to pay capital gains on the entire amount because you geniuses deeded it to you before they died. If instead you got it upon death, you get what's called stepped-up basis, and that means that when you sell a house within 6 months of the death of the person that owned the house, or a stock either one, it's presumed that you sold it for market value, and your basis is market value, zero taxes. So capital gains tax on $200,000 is $30,000. So a nice little $200,000 home, you just made a $30,000 error. Try doing it on $1 million house. Yeah, you just made a $150,000 error, not to mention gift tax if you did it wrong. Just because I'm just going to do this to my kid because I think I don't want the government, and you just screwed up the whole stinking thing because you didn't know what you were doing and you didn't get some good advice. Everybody needs insurance, but it can be hard trying to find the pro who isn't just looking to make a buck. Agents who know their stuff, they're hard to find. With a Ramsey trusted insurance pro, you'll never have to deal with sleazy business or slimy salespeople. A lot of sleazy, slimy stuff out there. Because we interview these guys, we vet them, we coach them to make sure they're market experts who have your best interest at heart. Go to RamseySolutions.com/coverage to find the type of insurance you're looking for. Connect with a Ramsey trusted agent or click the link in the show notes. Stephanie's in Orlando. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Good. Well, I'm recently engaged. And I'm trying to figure out if I should buy a house before we get married or wait till after.
Absolutely not. Please don't.
I'm trying.
I'm going to beg you not to.
Not to wait.
No, don't buy a house until you're married.
Don't buy a house. No, of course. I don't want to buy a house with him. But he has some debt, so I'm trying to figure out should we get married to help him pay the debt off, and then we buy a house?
Yes.
Or should I go ahead and buy the house on my own first?
Do you think Dave's being clear enough? Sometimes he's fuzzy.
Okay, let me stop that, Stephanie. I'm sorry. That's not fair. I need to tell you why, okay? Here's the thing. You're getting ready to join your lives. The best way for you guys to become wealthy is for you to join your lives. Combine everything. Assets, liabilities, incomes, and we together are aligned on our steps and what our future is and what the future looks like and the steps to get there. Okay? And when you do that, it's a major plus for your relationship because when you can agree on your spending, you're agreeing on your fears, your dreams, your life. Money's not important, but where it goes speaks loudly who you are and what you dream about. And when the two of you combine, and in the old marriage vows, it used to say, richer for poor, sickness and health, unto thee all my worldly goods I pledge. And it creates a unity and a joined approach. What ends up happening, and we see it in the actual factual data 10 years later after you're married, is you have what we end up calling in the financial world the marriage advantage, to where a 35-year-old married couple has a net worth that is far beyond a couple of single people that are 35.
Right. So even if that means delaying some things.
It's just it's not delaying them much, but we're putting them in an order that might not be comfortable.
Right.
So we're going to pay off the debt. We're going to build an emergency fund. Then we're going to get a big down payment and buy a nice home. On a 15-year fix where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay, you're going to start putting 15% of your income away towards retirement after that, and you're going to become very, very wealthy in about a decade.
Yep, exactly. Because I'm there now on my own, but seeing that my plan is to join as
So how much do
two
you
people
have
as
in
one.
savings that's not retirement?
About 50,000 right now.
And how much debt does he have?
He has about 31,000.
Perfect. When you get back from the honeymoon, pay it off.
That's kind of what my thought was.
Yeah.
Because I still want to save some more money for a down payment. Because even 50,000
Not enough.
is just okay.
Yeah, pay off the debt, and then you've got a combined household income of what when you come back from the honeymoon?
Maybe around 90,000,
Cool.
95,000 maybe.
Good. And so you're what, 25, 26?
Oh, I am 37.
37. Okay. All right. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a production planner, so in manufacturing.
Mm-hmm. What's he do?
He's in shipping, receiving for
Gotcha.
manufacturing as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Perfect. So you are a planner. That's why you're lining up on all this immediately.
Exactly.
The way your
I have
mind
all the
works.
numbers written down.
That's the way your mind works. And so
I've been listening to you guys for 5 years now.
Okay.
so.
Well, you know the baby steps then, and I'm just walking you through them as a combined couple. We're going to take your 50, pay off his 30. That leaves 20. Now we've got a $90,000 household income. The 20 is probably your emergency fund. So we start from scratch, real quick, build our down payment. Then we buy a home. Meanwhile, or shortly after buying a home, one of the two, we start baby step 3B or 4, 15% of your income going into retirement. You've heard all this before, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't include my emergency fund in that. So I have a 3 months.
Okay, then you got a 20 head start, not a 50
Yep,
head start
exactly.
towards your down payment.
Exactly.
Good.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
If your emergency fund's big enough for our emergency fund, that is.
Not yet. I don't think
Okay.
with what I think a new mortgage will be.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, we'll get there. But I mean, that you see, you know exactly what to do. It's just a matter of when, what, and why. But no, we don't try to don't look for a hack. Just go straight through it.
Exactly.
It's the fastest way. It's just not popular. It's not cool. Your friends are going to go, what? Who gives a crap what you think? You don't have any money, and you're not living in my house. So I mean, what? I don't. These are not real friends. Real friends go, yes, you're so smart. You're wise beyond your years. Go do the smart stuff. Yeah, that's very cool. Congratulations. Hey, I'm going to send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover. The baby steps, you already know them, but I'm going to send it to you anyway as a wedding gift. Very cool. That's fun.
Yeah, I like I like how wary she is, not jumping in emotionally, very solid. And I'd love to know what she has in retirement. We didn't get to that, but I think that they're going to be in great shape. The other thing I would say, we didn't get to this, but for people that are listening, watching this, in a situation like this, and I'm sure she's done this, you want to make sure that this person is on board with you before you get married on the finances. It's not something you want to come in, and in this case, I'm not saying this is happening here, but you want to be careful not to come in, we combine finances, I'm going to pay all this debt off, and they go, woohoo, and then they go get more debt. Super important that you got this stuff figured out pre-marriage.
Amen. Loretta's in Texas. Hi, Loretta. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you doing today?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, I am 64 years old, and I'm so ready to retire, but I'm just worried about my finances.
Okay.
I have $8,000 in an emergency fund. I have $12,000 in 401k. I have $15,000 in savings. My home is paid off. My vehicle is paid off, and I have no other debt.
Okay. And what will you live on if you retire?
Social Security. Well, I mean, I can't just retire. I'm probably going to work the rest of my life. But the job that I have now, I am a truck driver. I do super loads, and so it's physically demanding. It's a lot of work, but at some point, I want to be home.
What do you make?
$110,000 a year.
Okay. Why have you not saved any?
And well, I mean, because I paid off debt.
Okay, so your debt's gone now.
My debt is gone now.
So how much longer do you want to work and pile up some cash? I mean, why don't you try living on nothing and let's put $100,000 away in the next 2 years? 50 a year.
Ooh.
50 a year. Well, you don't have any payments. You're on the road.
Because I can actually put even, probably put even more than that.
Good.
Because it's just me.
Good.
So, with everything.
Well, let's not retire on social insecurity.
Okay, so hang in there another couple of years, and
And
just
how much could you
money.
put away out of 110 if you go whole hog? You just go all in, girl.
75.
Okay, that's 150 in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, that makes you 66 years old. And if you then will set your budget up with no debt to live on your Social Security, if you invest that with a SmartVestor Pro and some good mutual funds, it will double every 7 years. So at 73, you'll have $300,000 if you don't touch it and live on the Social Security. Now you're building a nest egg.
Okay.
And that's where I want you to go. This idea of $12,000 and I'm ready to retire. I don't want to live on Social Security. It's not enough. I've been working too hard all these years. You have for sure, kiddo. Jake's in Minnesota. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Hey there. Thanks for taking the call.
Sure. What's up?
I was just calling to ask. Me and my wife are trying to figure out if we should work on paying down our current mortgage, which we secured at 2.75%, or if we should be working on saving up our savings to get into a bigger home down the road.
Pay off your mortgage as fast as you can.
Okay, just
as fast as you can.
Go at it.
Yeah, just go at it. Now, I mean, you need to be working what we call the baby steps. Have you heard us talk about those?
Yep, I'm familiar.
Okay. And so, are you out of debt, everything but the home?
That's right.
And you have your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses.
Yes.
And you're putting 15% of your income into retirement plans.
That is something that we've backed down a little bit on recently. My wife and I, we don't have great matching from our employers. So
Doesn't
we've
matter.
Just been working
Doesn't
on
matter.
getting that savings
Doesn't matter.
up.
You need to be putting 15% of your income away for retirement in good growth stock mutual funds. That's going to build wealth for you. And then beyond that, any money we can find in the budget that we want to throw at the house, let's just start paying the house off systematically. And those are the things that the people that become millionaires the fastest do. They steadily invest in their 401ks and they pay off their homes. Data after data after data. We've got 10,000 of them we interviewed. We know.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're pretty close to the point where we're almost ready to take the jump on the new home, which is what we've been trying to
then
lay out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just going to sell this house and the equity is going to come out of it anyway.
Fair. I think we're just trying to make sure that if the right house comes along, that we have enough liquid, that we don't have to make a contingent offer. Would that ever make a difference?
No, you have to make a contingent offer because you have to sell the house. You can't take on 2 mortgages.
I think there might be a little room for us to own both for a few months, but yeah, correct. We'd have to sell.
You don't want to turn yourself into a motivated seller. Thing doesn't sell for 6 months and you're paying payments on it. You're going to give the stupid thing away. You don't want to do that. No.
Good point. We were.
Calm down. Go take a cold shower. You're getting house fever.
Yeah,
You've been out looking at the weekends at the open houses, hadn't you? Yeah.
We've been working on it.
Yeah, you've been working on it. It's working on you too, dude. Yeah.
We're expecting in March, and we've just been kind of looking at our current home situation and trying to figure out how we can make that next step happen. But,
yeah, it's okay to calm down and go after the baby. As a husband and grandpa, I won't recommend you plan a move during a pregnancy. You're not going to be a popular dude. 10 years later, she'll still bring that up to you. That time that you moved me while I was 9 months pregnant. Yeah, she'll remember that for the rest of her life. She won't forget.
And I got to speak on behalf of all babies. They have no idea how big the house is. A lot of this is just very natural.
You're a baby advocate.
Yeah, I am. It's the first time
I'm an
I've taken
advocate
that
for
approach.
babies. I'm here to speak on behalf of the
man
children.
Of the people, you know, Dave. I really am. No, I just hear this a lot from young couples. And by the way, it's very normal, and I'm not in any way judging it. But we start to think, well, this is what the nest should look like, and this is what the nest should feel like. And in all reality, can get you in real trouble. In the scenario that Dave gave you, we get that call a lot where people, they thought it was going to work out, and then life has got a different idea. And then you're stuck, as opposed to being patient here, and the baby's going to be fine. You don't need the perfect nursery and all the things. It just doesn't matter. You're going to be so exhausted, you don't even want to think about all this. So I think Dave's right. Patience, patience, patience.
Yeah, and definitely contingency.
Absolutely.
That or sell the house and move into an apartment while you're looking. So you don't have, you ain't going to do that for sure.
2 moves? That'll
Gross.
get you in real hot water.
That's gross. Yeah. It could happen, but yeah. Yeah, no, because here's the thing. Honestly, you start talking about 279 on one side of the fence like this is a bargain.
Right.
Okay? Like I got this cheap interest rate. Dude, after the 11th month and the house hasn't sold, that cheap interest rate's going to look like it's 27%, not 2.7. And you're going to be going, oh, God, this is killing me. We got to get this house moved. You're going to be calling a realtor every day. You're going to be dropping the price. Then somebody's going to come in and lowball you, and you're going to take it. Do not get yourself in that position. And so it's easy. Do a contingency deal or don't do it. And so, like I had one guy, he said, well, God told me to do it. And I said, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. No, he didn't. I'm positive God did not tell you to do that. He said, how do you know? I said, because the Bible says the blessings of the Lord have no sorrow added to them. And there's sorrow added to your mess you created here. And then you're trying to blame it on God. And God's up there laughing, going, you're just one of my stupid children. You know? And he's got a bunch of stupid children, because I've been one of them.
Me too. But that's not fair, Dave. You used God's word to debate God's voice. That's not fair. You were not playing fair. It's such a pro move, by the way. That's a good one.
That's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah.
All right. Alan's in Georgia. Hey, Alan, what's up?
Hey, how you doing today?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Yes, sir. So I've inherited some land from whenever my mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of been sitting there not making any money, and I think it's probably time to sell.
How much? What's it going to bring?
Conservative, $350 to $500.
Wow, nice inheritance.
It's about
very nice.
64 acres.
Thanks, Mom. Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with the 500 grand?
Well, I kind of wanted to get into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some research on like beach condos, and kind of looking at I think the return on investment is hovering from 8 to 10%, and kind of wanted your opinion on it.
Where do you live in Georgia?
Albany, but it's in Leesburg.
Yeah. Okay.
The land.
Well, the reason I asked is resort real estate, mountains, beaches, lakes, is the most volatile type of real estate. It's the first thing that goes up when times are good and the first thing that goes down when times are bad. And that includes the rental income on it. So if you have some kind of a problem and the economy slows down, you're gonna be the first one to take it on the chin. The value goes down and the rentals are hard to keep booked. So I don't recommend resort real estate as an investment.
Okay.
If you want to buy a toy for your family to go stay in at the beach, that's a different discussion. You pay cash for toys, but that's not that's not what you said. So instead, I would buy a boring rental property that's steady, and it's probably close to you, or 2 or 3.
Okay.
I'd rather you buy 2 or 3 $200,000, $150,000 houses in your area there, and they'll go up more steadily than those beach condos will. They won't go up as much during good times, but they won't go down as much during bad times. And you create this tortoise versus the hare type of investment portfolio.
I've got a question for you on this. 8% was his goal. He stated it on the call. Why wouldn't you say, just put that in our investment, our four buckets that we talk about? Why not invest it in the market? Why even take on the headache of real estate?
Well, 8% is his cash on cash.
Got it.
That's how much he makes in his pocket versus what he invested.
Okay.
That doesn't count how much it goes up in value every year.
Fair.
And it doesn't count that he can also shelter a portion of it by doing depreciation. So those three numbers added together are,
Make it
on an
better
8%
decision.
are going to sound more like 17%.
Okay, got it. Great.
And then it makes it worthwhile. I look for 8 to 10 on a residential if I'm buying it.
Okay.
On commercial, I look for 10 to 12.
Okay.
Cash on cash, but I fully expect to return about 20 on a 12, including, it's called an internal rate of return, which includes the increase in value and the write-off of the depreciation schedule.
All right.
Our scripture of the day, James 4:3, when you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on pleasures. Our friend Art Laffer said, it's not true that Congress spends money like a drunken sailor. Drunken sailors spend their own money. Congress spends ours.
Fact.
Fact, Art. You can tell Art used to hang out with Ronald Reagan a lot. That's a great line right there. That's fabulous. All right, here we go with Gerard in Texas. Hey, Gerard, how are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Dave, how are y'all?
The same, sir. How can we help?
So my wife and I are on baby step 2. We should be done with about $40,000 worth of debt by the end of the year, and we're going to be moving on to 4, 5, and 6. I already kind of have plans for retirement and early payoff of the house, but I'm confused a little bit on the college savings side of things.
Cool. How old are your babies?
4 and 7.
Awesomeness. Okay, what are you confused about?
So I looked at the Dave Ramsey calculator on how to save for college and what we would be putting aside just based on what we think living expenses are and tuition will be. That number seemed high, around like $1,100 a month or something like that. I didn't know if that was normal to set that much aside in a 529 or
no,
if there's a happy medium.
I would not do that.
Okay. No. Okay. What would y'all recommend as far as how to tackle the tuition versus living costs?
Yeah, I honestly need to go look at that calculator. It sounds like so tuition has averaged 7 to 8% per year inflation rate.
Okay.
For the last 40 years or so. And so it's, regular inflation is 2 to 4% average. I mean, 1 year Biden, we had 9.7, but I mean, the normal inflation rate is 2 to 7 or 2 to 4. And then with this, so that's what it's going up. So you got University of Texas is probably $14,000 right now in state tuition. And so if you wanted to say, okay, 4 years of that is $60,000, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then add 8% a year for a decade, and that's where that's going to be your tuition cost, right? Gotcha. And so that's what you would do, and then we use a 529 because if you put in, a couple grand or something a year, not a month but a year, you're going to have about 90 or 100. You probably have about $140,000 in there, something like that, if you started with the babies. And so you'll have somewhere around 150,000 in there. And a lot of that is growth. And if it's in a 529 in a mutual fund in a 529, it's going to grow tax-free for tuition. And so if you have $100,000 worth of growth, see if you put it, okay, let's say you put in $2,000 a year for 10 years. That's $20,000 you put in. If there's 120 in there, there's 100 in growth. You got me? No taxes on that 100 is important because that's a $20,000 tax bill, $30,000 tax bill that you're avoiding by putting the mutual fund in a 529 for purposes of the kid. And
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Yeah, I mean, a couple grand a year is going to take you a long, long way towards doing this. And the other thing that we would not have said 10 years ago that we will say today is I think higher education is going to look dramatically different 15 years from now. Wouldn't you, Ken?
I've been pretty bold on that, and I believe you're going to see a decentralization. You're going to see specialties like obviously medicine, law, look very similar to how we see them today. But as far as the traditional 4 years, and you got to take a bunch of undergrad stuff, and you got the prerequisites before you get to the major, I think that's going to splinter. I think the onset of AI, I think that we are actually at a fever pitch on what the American people are willing to put up with. And I think when you see
on the ripoff of
meaning willing to pay for it, give you real numbers so you know where I'm coming from, Gerard. Gallup came out with information this year in a poll. 46% of American parents said they would prefer that their kids go into trades and not into college. Our good friend Mike Rowe, I call him the Oprah Winfrey of the trades. He's been banging this drum for a long time. You would take Mike. That as an insult. But I do think Dave's right. I don't think you're going to see the exorbitant costs. I don't think now you got to plan for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to see that. I think we've kind of jumped the shark.
Well, the student loan debacle has has highlighted that some of the higher ed stuff is out of control.
Yeah.
And so
it's not sustainable.
I do know that people are going to be more cognizant of what they pay and what they get for what they pay.
That's right.
For sure. And so I think that's going to create a downward pressure on that inflation number that I gave you of 7 to 8%. So I don't think they're going to maintain that.
I think you're going to see, Dave, little quick prediction. I think I've been studying this. I think you're going to see private sector competition for traditional education. And I think people are going to come along and go, wait a second, we can provide training for what corporate America really wants for a whole lot less money and make a ton of money doing it. And you're going to see these outsized tuitions go away because they can't compete with the private sector. Google's doing their own training program, a 6-month program. I think you're going to see more and more big-time companies are going to outsource their own education training to private education companies. Watch for that. I think that's going to happen.
All of that to say that if you have put a couple grand a year for a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, you're going to have 100,000 plus in there when you get there each. And that's going to give you a real head start into whatever you want to do, whether it's a trade, a certification program, or an actual 4-year degree. Which we're not against 4-year degrees. We're just against getting a degree for 4 years in left-handed puppetry and from a school where you pay $150,000 a year to go, so they can brainwash your child into being a communist. And so that I'm against that. I think that's a problem. And so, and as a parent, or a grandparent, I'm not writing that freaking check anymore, and I'm not by myself. So that's what we're seeing. Right. So I think you're doing your individual planning, but you're doing it in the context of what is happening culturally right now on this subject. That's why we wanted to comment on it.
Yeah.
So it's very good. And Ken, I think it's worth, highlighting a couple things here while we're at it. You've been working with self-improvement in the self-improvement space, and the new show Front Row Seat is helping people learn leadership skills and, highlighting stories of great men and great women and what they did to get there. And, what we discover every time we do that, if you read biographies of great people who are successful in any function, whether business, ministry, sports, whatever, you find that they were the secret sauce, not where they went to school.
That's exactly right.
And so the number of times that people become successful due to the particular school that they went to is precisely zero. And yet we go, well, if he went to Harvard, bullcrap. Nobody cares out here is the problem. It's all theory. There's no data to back it up. 78% of the Fortune 500 companies have a CEO that went to a state school.
Yep. And
that's 8 out of 10. Shut up.
Had a 2.5.
They didn't go to Wharton. They didn't go to Princeton.
Right.
They didn't go to, muckety-muck school. They went to a state freaking school. Penn State, Michigan State.
That's right.
University of Tennessee. That's where they went to school. They didn't go to Vanderbilt. They didn't. The 78% of the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies.
Not straight A
There's
students
data
either.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So where you go to school doesn't matter. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's right. And
because it costs out the butt.
Yeah, and
to go to those places.
And we're beginning to see the American people, and this isn't just parents anymore. The young people are going. They're reading the stories. They're paying attention. They're older brothers and sisters. They're going. There's not a value exchange here.
No, I can't spend $250,000 to become a social worker for the state of Tennessee with a master's degree and make $38,000 a year. That's dumb butt.
That's right. The ROI is not there anymore.
It just doesn't work. So you guys got to think about stuff like that. And Gerard, you're very wise to stay on top of the whole idea and be watching and monitoring all this as you go. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.